Hello everybody, what's up? Cedric and Cedric here, CRWC. Today we will be going over Ring of Honor, which was June 22nd, 2023. And this is a lot of matches, a lot of stuff.
That's long.
Yeah, Ring of Honor, look, straight up, this is stupid. It's just too long. This is two hours, 35 minutes.
No commercial, it's straight through.
Yeah. No commercials. I don't understand why. Why? You could do 2 shows a week at 1 hour each and you'll be fine instead of 1 show for all day long. This is pay-per-view length stuff here.
Yeah.
This is silly. But we did this our normal way. You know what? I'm gonna have to do a little loading, because in addition to all this, halfway through this, we're also going to take a small break to go over, hopefully, fan comments, because we got a comment and kind of broaden my horizons. Also, look, I would really like it if y'all could like, share, subscribe, all that. If you hear this, you like what you hear and all that, hey, subscribe. And you know what? Let me be a little bit more empathetic towards all of you. You don't have to necessarily like. It helps because we're practically nobodies, in this whole podcast world of stuff going on. But I also understand that when you like, sometimes it goes to a certain playlist or something like that. I get that. I don't want you to bog down an erroneous playlist that and all that. You might have your own stuff you're doing, and then all of a sudden you got like a bunch of likes in there separating it. And if somebody's looking through your playlist and they wanted to just roll on and on and on, and then that pop up, I get it. That's disastrous. I get all that. Also, I'm also thinking about trying to put some of this on medium.com. That's also what I'm thinking about doing. Seems like something to go towards, to put commentary up there. There's also a small wrestling show that I also want to do for Fire Pro that I might put on Medium. Keep it off YouTube in terms of visibility. So I'm just giving y'all an update on ideas and things like that. Also, YouTube, in the comments section, I would like it that if you want your eFed podcast or anything like that, I would like it if you would just put down there like the best link to reach you at, so I could put that in the description and even run that on the CR Fire Pro and Road shows. I can run advertisements through that as well. That's what I'm hoping on. So halfway through this, I think after about 6 matches, then we'll go over viewer requests in terms of this, viewer comments and whatnot. So with all of that out the way, all of that done, we can get into this Ring of Honor event. So the show opens with Tony Khan granting Samoa Joe the new Ring of Honor TV title, and Joe thanks him for it, for the belt, and then cites he's going to break his boy's face, which would be CM Punk's. Mm-hmm. And Cedra was pointing out, she was looking like he's drying off, but his chest is lit up,
beat up, red,
and he looked like he's been through a fight. And so she's like, okay. Cedra noticed that this had to been a post-tape for a pre-tape before he wrestles in that 6-man tag team match, but on a date days afterwards. Tony Khan, don't do that. It's dumb.
So the taping took place after Collision
Yep.
to be showed a week later, basically, almost 5 days later.
Yep. As if it happened before Collision.
And then when they go on to talk about when Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman get started talking, we're here at the United Center. We know they didn't go back. So this means this had to have happened. What? After Collision?
Must have been.
Because the crowd,
a lot of the people look the same.
and they look,
Tired.
yes.
They came up eventually.
Yeah.
Kinda.
And Collision was all the way live. So once you've been cranked all the way up to the maximum for an extended period of time, it's just time to chill.
Whether you want to or not, it is time to take a break.
So once again, Tony Khan is trying to use every ounce of every location that they're in.
He don't need to do that. Like I said, all he's got to do is just go and do the touring thing. There's so much wrestling territory out there where you can go to many places in one state. You know, you can go to about 6 places in South Carolina. You can go to 6 places around the triangle of North Carolina, let alone the 5 places on either side, east and west of the heart of North Carolina. It's all, there's so many places. Tennessee's got about 6 places.
But let's think about it on this flip side of it. If you have more than one event in one location, let's say the United Center.
Yeah, you bleeding the people dry of money.
No, because they only pay one ticket. Ain't
Well,
like they
going
came
on
in,
that, if they're doing it that way.
They only pay one ticket. They sit
Yeah.
there for 6 hours. Yeah, their butt gets tired, but they're only paying one ticket. If it's like, hey, we have it here, and then 2 cities over, and then 2 cities over, okay, it's different people, but then again, more people are going to travel trying to get there, so it's kind of money bleeding. But if you're in one location and you have 2 or 3 shows there, you're only paying for essentially the arena rent once.
Yes.
Instead of having to rent different areas and compete with other events going on, and then having to get the wrestlers there, travel. Economically,
It's sound. Economically, it's sound, but is to the fans and then to those watching at home and all that, it can be tedious.
it can be tedious. Yes, it can. Then somebody say, you had a drought of wrestling for 20 years. Shut up.
I mean, there's a pro and con to every single thing.
It is.
You know, you just got to choose if you're using the best pros and the least cons. That's what you got to do. So I get it. I ain't going to complain too much. I'm just saying, though, it's just like, why? Stop. You know, so much you can do. That, you know, I get it. Milking the building.
Yeah.
I get it. Still space it out. Wednesday can be live. Saturday can be live. You know, Ring of Honor, that could be done Monday and Tuesday, and Dynamite can be done live if you want. Not Dynamite, but Rampage can be done live. You know, Honor Club and all that stuff. Just, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And Tony Khan is booking all of it.
And then for Honor Club too, if you are paying for Honor Club, at least you're getting your money's worth.
You're getting the best seat in the house.
And yeah, get a 2-hour, a pay-per-view length event for your Honor Club subscription every week. That's good. How else are you going to keep people from keeping it up, especially with no weekly televised show?
He needs to make Ring of Honor a weekly televised show on a channel of stability, not some channel that people haven't heard of, and only those 25 is like, yeah, we like this channel. No, you know, it needs to be somewhere he needs to advertise it on TV, where to watch Ring of Honor and all the other stuff. Honor Club gets you all this extra stuff and a discount on pay-per-views if you are part of Honor Club. it should be something like that.
And maybe,
or discount on tickets if you go there live.
And maybe that's something that he's working on, because before, when Ring of Honor, before he bought it, it was always a small crowd. Yeah, and where it was syndicated, it was, almost like local channels. It was small.
Yeah, because Sinclair Company, they're extreme capitalists. So they were paying the wrestlers less, telling them to do more, and no. That's not sustainable.
But see, now that he's got Ring of Honor, he's got a full house arena, whether it's Universal Studios or the United Center. He's got Honor Club people who are paying for subscription. If he want to peddle it to a station, be like, hey, look at Honor Club. Look at Ring of Honor. We got Honor Club subscribers. We got full house arenas. You'll have ratings. It looks more appealing.
It's a good setup if he goes in that direction.
If he goes in that direction.
It'd be nice if he does.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if he does. So let's get into this, okay? Because I only wrote notes on one match, but there's still a lot to say about each match. So get ready, everybody. Buckle up, all right? So the opening match is a 6-man tag match. That's Commander with Son of the Viking and the Lucha Brothers.
8-man.
Yeah, 8-man. And this again, Spanish announced project, Kip Sabian, the Butcher. I don't think the Blade was in the match, but there was so many people around the ring. I don't know.
Luther and Helico and Kip Sabian's woman and the Hype Man, and it was just
too many people. And we skipped this match because we knew what it was going to be. We've seen this before. And so, who won the match? Penta with a package pile driver. There we go.
Moving on.
Yep, moving on. Next match was Gringo Loco, Hometown Guy versus Willie Mack.
Good match.
It was such a good match. It really was. It had a lucha style opening. They showed how agile each other is and how they can work together.
How evenly matched they are. Yeah.
Yep, you could tell they've worked together many times, and this is another match that they've had that Gringo Loco was shining in. It's a hometown boy, so you know how Tony Khan gets down. I don't think it always need to be that way, but this is what he's doing. Loco, at one point, while Mac had him in the corner, and Loco, punched or kicked him and backed him up, and then Loco pops from the middle rope in the corner to the top while spinning, and then jumped off for a moonsault.
It was nice.
It was beautiful.
It was.
Willie Mack hit a sky-high spine bomb. That's what they used to call it, because it's not necessarily a power bomb, but it's not necessarily a spine buster fully either. So they called it a spine bomb. I don't know if they still do that today, but it was basically D'Lo Brown sky-high, as he called it, a spine buster, and then sometimes they call it a power bomb. So that's why they called it a spine bomb, because they was like, we don't know which to call it, and the fans were getting angry about that. Mm-hmm. So I call it a spine bomb because it's right in the middle. It is so in the middle.
And a power buster just sounds generic.
Yeah, power buster. Yeah,
like a flip drop.
What did you call the flip drop? What?
No, that wasn't me. That was our baby girl.
Oh,
that's what she used to call a drop kick. Remember, a flip drop.
A flip drop.
When she was like 5 or 6. It's the flip drop, but she do it on the futon.
Yeah. Jumping up and drop kicking nothing.
Yep.
Let's see. But Loco won. It was cooperation, you can see it, but Gringo Loco won with the Avalanche Spanish Fly for the pin. It was still good. And then this next match coming up, Trish Adora versus Allison Kay. And Allison Kay got no intro. And Steve was like, is she about to job this?
Yep, because Trish Adora got her entrance. I was like, okay. And Allison Kay just standing there like, I'm Lady Baba Ganoush.
Yeah. And I'm like,
she didn't perform like Lady Baba Ganoush.
Not really, but she didn't perform up to her standard either. And Trish Adora, it's weird. Okay, Allison Kay led this match. You could see it. This was Allison Kay. When she wants someone to shine, she's got a certain way of doing things, and I got used to that pattern. I thought this was a decent match. I'm not gonna say a good match because the pacing of it was so snail-like.
Yeah, it was a slow pacing.
It was very slow. It was like kind of like you could tell they're cooperating too easily. You could see almost through everything. Adora, she's got some good forearms that she does, especially the rolling forearm and stuff. She's got that down, and she's practicing that, and that's great. Always practice your strikes. It's just this match was so tedious. But Adora, she fought from underneath. She was getting beat down a lot, trying to keep firing up a little bit.
And mushed.
Yep.
She kept getting it. Do you know who I am? Mushing in the face.
And showing that she's not gonna, just
quit.
Be some weakling. She's not gonna quit. But then the match does become competitive. While like 50-50 back and forth, counters, strikes, and slams and stuff. But it maintained the steady pace that it started with. It didn't pick up in urgency. But then Adora, no setup. And I don't like that. You need something to say, this is about to happen, so the fans can come up with you. But she hits a dashing stiff arm clothesline that she calls Lariat Tubman. And she got the win. She got the pin with it.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed by it.
I think you weren't impressed by it because
it came out of nowhere, no setup, and it didn't have any stank on it.
And because, she wasn't leading the match. You have a veteran who's leading the match and they're about to lose. Yeah, maybe she did just enough.
Yeah, it could be because Allison Kay that we know of is a former NWA Women's Champion, 2-time tag team champion. And
usually far more aggressive. If she could have been more aggressive, then Trisha could have been more aggressive.
Maybe.
And then the pacing. Trisha's got it in her. We've seen it. Mm-hmm. So the pacing, even if it had been slow, it would have been better because they're harder hitting and taking longer to recover from getting blasted in the face makes more sense.
Yep. So I know Trisha Adora is only going to get better. I know that. Not worried about it. Not at all. I know this is going to get better, and hopefully Allison Kay and whomever that may come from the NWA or the indie scenes that know how to work, hopefully they can expose Trish's better skill and whatnot, because Trish, she's learning. Adora's getting better. You can see it, so I can't wait to see some extreme competitive matches. And maybe Adora's going to rise up and take the belt off of Athena. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that will take some time.
We'll see. Yep. So the next match is Silas Young versus Kyle Fletcher. And when I saw this, I was like, well, we know how this is going to go. And it went exactly as I thought. Okay. Yeah, I wrote they got their stuff in with Silas leading the match. You could tell he was. Kyle hit a great brain buster, and Silas kicks out on 2, which I was like, why do it? Why gear up and do such a great brain buster and not? You don't win with it. That's stupid. I can see if it was for a title, at a major event, yeah, but this ain't that. However, Kyle uses Naito Tetsuya's move, Gloria, to get the pin.
And it looked good.
Yeah.
It looked really good.
Look just like how Naito would do it.
Yeah.
It's just Silas Young, he got all his stuff in. Kyle Fletcher got most of, if not all of his stuff in. Silas Young losing to Kyle Fletcher seems stupid because Young's been wrestling longer and he's had higher profiled matches. He knows what to do in that ring. And just like some call out, like Zemo, like, yeah, all the Ring of Honor people just lose.
Yeah.
And it's just angering.
Styles is a little rusty.
Yeah. Certain moves he wasn't getting up.
It wasn't crisp like he normally would. So hopefully he's back and he'll be able to wrestle more.
Yeah, if he ain't got the job to everybody. Then we get the next match, 6-man tag team, Gates of Agony and Brian Cage going against Trenton Storm, AJZ, and Luke Curtis.
So these three guys.
They got bum rushed, they got bowled over, they got annihilated. The only one
taunted.
The only one that was getting a small beatdown was Bishop Khan. He was the only one that got a small beatdown, but then they turned that around. And I'm like, the one that can actually work is the one that takes the beating. Toa Leona is getting up there. He's so much better than when we first saw him.
Yeah, he's improved a whole lot.
Yeah, he is so much better. Brian Cage, he's just where he is. Mr. Get My Stuff In.
If he wasn't broken in the head, he'd be great.
Yeah, he'd be amazing.
Because he's got a great look.
Yeah.
He can do what he does, but knowing his mental setup is...
Yeah, it just makes him look terrible. But they got their triple finishers in. Each one did their finish on somebody, and then,
Toa.
Toa got the win.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that went. Next was Dalton Castle versus Josh Woods. I knew how that was going to go. But then I was wrong at the end.
Really? Okay.
Because this is what I'm like. Dalton Castle, as I say it every single time, without that music, without his original music, the majesty is gone. It's just gone.
They need to change his music.
His music, it got the crowd with it. It was. There's always a thing when you just say that is it. That's the it factor, and that was his it factor. And the moment he changed his music, after he had to take the break from being world champion, nothing.
And now he's got the same music that he's got when he went stupid heel, and he's not a stupid heel now. It's just got stupid generic sounding music. He's got his outfit back. He's got his boys back. He got rid of those stupid dudes in the underwear. He just needs some greater music or his old music back.
Yes. I say get his old music. Dalton wants it all. That's what they called it for their version of it. Josh Woods, before Ring of Honor in the pandemic, which the pandemic ain't over at all. It's just people just decided, you know what? I don't care if I get sick and die. We'll just wait until it does what it do. But Josh Woods at that time, he was getting built up to be literally the technical beast.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Gresham was overseeing that beautifully. It was also working with Wheeler Yuta, doing the same thing for him. It was starting to come up in that pure division. So to me, I was like, Dalton Castle should win, but then they probably going to have him job to Josh Woods because reasons. I just didn't. I'm like, I just can't. I don't feel that thing with Dalton Castle. So,
and seeing that Josh Woods don't ever win, I was like, he ain't gonna win this.
Yeah, just my heart won't end this. I should have been all up into this match because they've wrestled before twice that we can recall, and we were into that. And then this.
I went into it just kind of neutral, but actually, I enjoyed the match.
It was after a little bit, and it picked up, and they started to get their own paces in.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you could see the magic.
This is the best I've seen Dalton perform in maybe 3 years.
Yes. It's like he found himself. It's like, okay, I don't have the music, but I'm going to prove to you that I don't need it.
Yeah.
And I like that. But Woods, he had a nice, dangerous Queen Bomb, because that's the original name of it, and pushed Dalton back onto his knees, and they hit him with a knee bomb for a 2 count. Eventually, Dalton kicks Nese off the ropes, Tony Nese, because he was being a jerk wearing whatever he was wearing.
Wearing little shorts.
Yeah, it was weird. And then he did a telegraphed clothesline to Josh Woods and knocked him over the top rope to the outside. Castle calls for the boys, and he throws them into Tony Nese. And they just, woohoo!
And they were happy to go.
They were happy. Woohoo! It was almost cartoon-like. But it's a good spot. And then back in the ring, once everything got going again, they throw it to the ropes. That means a spot's coming up usually. And Woods did a high leapfrog, and Castle caught him and put him in the bangarang. 1, 2, 3.
Just let me add in there was a nice amount of suplexes. Dalton,
they got this shit in. That's what I'm talking about.
I just what Dalton was doing some wonderful suplexing, showing his ability, his strength, his hips. He was working it.
When Dalton gets into his mode like that, I can honestly tell you it's hard to just watch and analyze. I just watch. It's just, I become like that 100% fan, and I don't even try to look through anything. I'm just like, this dude is suplexing. And that's one reason why I didn't write anything down, because I was just lost in all, because him and Josh Woods, they got into their mode. They did what they do best, and they showed why they should have been higher up on the card, to be honest with you. And why Woods need to get out that stupid group and do something on his own.
He needs to be a face.
Yes. He did better as a baby face. Either case. So they show the Kingdom, they show the infantry, they're hyping up Stokely Hathaway, so they get the match with each other.
It was amusing.
It was amusing. And the infantry, they're hometown boys, so you know how this is gonna go. And they lost to the Kingdom last match. But at one point, Taven, he had a nice DDT and he floated over. It was just, it's rare you see a DDT and a legit float over. It ain't like you DDT and just roll back onto them. No, there's a little you got to pull on them or push off the mat a little. You got to do that. But that was nice looking. And then ultimately, scroll down here, Sean Dean, he got the hot tag after what was his partner's name? If you can remember.
Something Bravo. C Bravo.
Charlie Bravo, I think, but in the case, Bravo. When he tagged and Sean Dean, he had great momentum for a while. The heels were feeding him. He was drop kicking, elbow, forearm, throwing to the ropes, leaping on them. He was keeping them at bay. Look, the Kingdom, I've seen them too many times. They led this match. I've seen them too many times. They led this match. The infantry, I didn't expect them to look like this. I'll be honest with you. I didn't, because of how I saw them so long ago in their individual matches. And when they finally formed a tag team and they come out like this, hype, energy, fast pace. It's like they got like 15 years younger or something. It's just, their speed is incredible. Their energy is incredible. I'm not happy about their intro to the ring because it's so WWE-like, but it is what it is. I'm like, all that energy, you need to come out like you want to win the match, not, woohoo, we're here. You don't need all that. You don't need all that. It's almost like they're trying to slowly replace Private Party. That's what it almost seems like.
They're better than Private Party.
Yeah.
And Private Party entrance was always stupid.
Yeah.
Dumber than infantry.
Yeah. When I saw the infantry come out, I thought, well, this is very WWE-like. That's all I thought. I was like, it don't seem like it's them. Like they haven't really found it yet.
And they probably haven't. I don't think they've been tagging that long, and they still, they did their first promo basically.
Yeah. and it was good. Shows that they're gonna mess with somebody. I thought that was good. And then let's see. At one point, Dean uses a tiger bomb on Bennett, but he don't think he went for the pin.
He did. He went for a strong pin, but he didn't get it.
Okay.
Feet on his shoulders.
Yeah, like I said, I'm typing and trying to watch, and I'm listening and typing, so I'm doing what I can, y'all. Let's see. Bravo, he became the legal man, but then he lost the momentum because he started getting beat down. But then both teams hit great double team moves. I thought they were high impact, and I think that each one would have won the match because both of them had to get broken up. So that was good. Shows promise, but not the finished promise. Let's see. Bravo got confused at one point. He had I think it was Bennett. He had him down. Bennett leaned over. He's like, I need to do this. I need to go to the ropes. I need to do this. And that's when Bennett said something to him. You could see him say something. You could also see that Sean Dean had said something. He's like, okay, so he did a scissors kick. And after he did that, that's when Dean came off the top rope with the diving splash, but the pin was broken up. And the way that looked, once it had been 18 years and a corn dog eating, they finally got that move on. And then, I wrote the wrong word, but Bennett eventually got a chair and used it to gut shot Sean Dean. And then Adora walks out, distracts Maria, who was distracting the match many a times, and she ran off Maria. Then Dean, got the jackknife pin on Bennett for the pin, just rolled him up, pinned him. And then Adora and the infantry had a nice triple salute at the end of the match. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. And then a little bit later, they spoke to the Kingdom, and they weren't happy. Maria was telling Adora, like, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. I made you, I put you in this division, take you out. So it's okay. So I don't know if she's going to do something or she's going to have somebody else do something to Trish Adora. But Trish Adora got in the group. Okay. Nice. We'll see what they do.
Yeah. It fits. It looks good.
Yeah, it literally it does. So then we got Lee Moriarty and Big Bill. Well, his name would be better if it was Big Bill Morrissey, but you like Big Bill in general.
I like Morrissey. When he first came there and they were calling him Morrissey, I liked it.
It felt lacking. Just Morrissey. I don't know. Big Bill Morrissey would be better. I don't know. But the guy's in shape. I'm going to give it that.
Yeah.
And they're going against Matt Sydal and Blake Christian. I don't know why.
I don't know either.
But during the match, it went well. For the most part.
I think Moriarty and Morrissey are a good tag team. At the very least, they seem to have a great time together.
Yeah, they're having fun in the ring. And Cedra and I can see it. I don't know if any of you out there can see it, but we can certainly see they're having fun.
Yeah.
And Lee Moriarty, I like that he gets this anger streak and just starts wailing on the opponent. And Bill got to come over there, and it's like the fourth time I've seen it. It's like, hey, Lee, calm down. And Lee's like, okay, my bad.
I'm sorry.
And he don't go back to the rage stomping again. No, I like that in the match. Blake Christian, I can see the magic. I can see it. I see his match psychology, but his psychology lacks psychology. It lacks fundamentals. He used every move that he does, the opponent has to get into the right position for him to do it, which takes away from it, opposed to Christian using basic moves and whatnot to set up the next spot that he wants to do.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. Hey, I was thinking, how long can he keep this style up? But you know what? Use it while you got it.
Yeah.
Use it while you got it. I like what he's doing because he's safe.
He is.
He's got absolute control over his body. So yes, I'm becoming a Blake Christian fan. I am. Matt Sydal, always been a fan. It's all good. Lee Moriarty, I like him.
Morrissey poked Matt Sydal in his third eye.
Yeah, he poked him right in the third eye. But at the end, Big Bill, he got the win with the Shoten Kai hold. And it was good. He had him up.
Very good.
Yep. Matt Morgan, he called it the Hellevator.
He needs to work on his black hole.
Yeah. That spinning boss man slam, he's got to work on that.
He doesn't have control.
No, he's got control, but when he ends it,
when he exits, he doesn't look like he's in control.
Yeah, but he is. It's like the exit and he falls over with it, but it looks like it's out of control. And maybe it is. I don't know.
Because it shouldn't be that he's falling over with it. It should be like he's driving them down.
Yes.
That's what's missing.
Yes. Exactly like Thrill Bill Silas.
Thrill Billy
Silas. He will snatch somebody up and start spinning them and then drive them down. He can do that move from anywhere. Mm-hmm. He done caught him off the rope. He done caught him off diving from the rope.
He picked him up standing and just went into it.
Yes, he's done it all. He can put that move on from anywhere. So beautiful. Love it. Let's see what we got next. Yeah, Davey Bang and August Matthews versus Alex Reynolds and John Silver with -1. I was like, oh yeah, school is out.
Yep, he's growing. He's scrawny and taller.
Yeah. And that match went the way you think it goes.
Yeah.
And Dark Order wins with the Dio combo. That's what I named it. And you can literally find that. I made that combination win. So you can go to the Steam workshop and find that combination if you like that and you play Fire Pro. I made that combo. Y'all would like it. It's great. Then the Righteous show up. They're doing a promo.
Yeah, as always.
Dio gets mad. Dark Order gets mad. They attack the guy that's still in the ring with a power drive and an airplane spin slam.
And then they holler and it goes off.
Yep.
It moves on to the next
And
match.
I'm like, y'all spent nearly 4 years being a stupid opening comedy act to never be taken serious. And now you're trying to look mean. Look, I'm going to say this. It's not too late to make a turn, but you can't do a 180 right there in the middle of the street. You got to turn that corner steadily to let everybody see the transition, not just do it because you've educated us on who you are for so long. The people will be waiting for you to go right back to it. They're not going to think you're going to maintain this. They're just going to go, okay, when they go back to it, it'll be what it is, and that's it. So keep that in mind. So next we got Diamante versus Layla Gray with Mark Sterling. Okay, Layla Gray, the baddie. The match was all right.
It was a match.
It was a match. Sterling distracted Diamante, who stomped on his hand. Gray rolls her up with her feet on the ropes, and she had her pin so tight that Diamante's toes was touching the mat over her head. Mm-hmm. So I was like, she ain't kicking out of that. That ain't happening. Let's see. Then we'll end that. This might be a halfway point for the event, and then we'll go to the comment section.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Shane Taylor and the Workhorsemen versus AR Fox, Darius Martin, and Action Andretti. Look, I want to be annoyed with the team of Fox, Martin, and Andretti, but you know what? Straight up, you got to get a start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be a team, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So cool. They're going to do that. All three of them need to learn to wrestle. They need to learn to wrestle. It's that simple. They need to learn to wrestle. They need to learn to wrestle. That's what they need, because they don't. Darius has a little bit, but
he's never in a position to use it unless he's singles.
Yes. It's just running around, jumping, flipping, flying. I'm like, if Shane Taylor and the Workhorsemen had to work with that, Because truth be told, now it wasn't a bad match. No, don't get me wrong. It was a good match. It was a good match for Shane Taylor and them. You know, those three others, they're just
flying about.
Yeah. Like, you could do that with anybody. You could put any three, 160-pound and lower people together and just have them run all over the place. That's about what it is. People running about. Shane Taylor and the Workhorsemen, they come out wearing matching type gear now.
Yeah.
And the Workhorsemen, you know what they did? They worked heavy, stiff. They put danger behind their moves. Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah.
A punch means something. A slam means something.
They're becoming more cohesive as a unit.
Working Shane Taylor style.
Yeah. Because
Shane Taylor, when he comes to the ring and you watch him in that ring, upon his intro, he looked like, I'm here to win. I mean business. Shane Taylor Promotions. And
it looks like it's not a difficult thing for the Workhorsemen to adapt to that style. It's just put a little bit more stank on whatever they're doing.
Yes. In addition, granted, in this match, the way that they all work together, there were points where, JD was kind of, I'm like, look, bro, we can see through that. You're working with it. You're being overly cooperative. You need to chill. We could see that. It was a hard-hitting match. It really was. But AR Fox rolls up Henry for the pin at the end. And, it was a hard-hitting match. It was really good. It could have been better. But a little too much cooperation that I could see. Like, it was glaring. So I wasn't happy with that. Because I try to get lost in certain matches. And when they won't let me get lost in the match, I get annoyed. So that's how that went. So we're going to get into the comments. This was...
Hey.
What is it?
Can we pause?
Pause? All right, we had to take a small break there. Whew, a lot to go through. But we're going to get to answering viewers right here. And this one, this comes from CAWF. He uploads content on Thursdays. So, that's that CAWF fight. And
cough.
Yes, Cedric calls it cough. And that's hosted by W. Stevens. So check that out Thursdays, YouTube. It's in the description of all these videos. You can actually, it's going to be there because he took a hiatus, but he's back. So I got to put him back in the description. But still, like I said earlier, whatever in the comments down below, you want your show advertised on my shows, just go ahead and put down the link that best gets to your show, wherever your show may be, and I will try to put that in a rotation for all the shows that I do. So he's responding to our AEW Collision, and he says, my honest opinion is that Saturday is a bad night for a primetime show. It worked in the territory days, but times have changed. It'll definitely be a challenge when WWE runs a pay-per-view or UFC is on for the fans that watch both wrestling and MMA. He says, not to mention on TNT, they'll get preempted by sports and either be on TBS or get delayed. College football will be the biggest slump. I hadn't thought about any of that.
I hadn't either. But he's right. But it's like you could not do it because of those factors, or just be flexible and take the $52 million. So I think
yeah, $52 million, a year to run the show is what he's getting.
So persuasive.
Yes, we would give you $52 million a year, and I'm sure that's on the low end. So, because you never start off high or in the middle, you just start low.
Think about everything he's gonna make off merchandising now that CM Punk is back.
Yes, all the merchandise, all that is going to be great. Mm-hmm. The Pride Month merchandise sells brutally, so they're going to make a lot of bank off of that. Mm-hmm. But Saturday, Saturday as a primetime show, it seems like it's great for me. One, it's just that nostalgia. That's where I was going with. It's nostalgia. But with all the sports and stuff, just like WCW, everything that CAWF said is literally what WCW ran into.
Yeah.
It's the same stuff, and you're like, man, for me, and I'm like, you're gonna put baseball on the slide for this? Baseball is like 8 hours. You know, you can give 2 hours to wrestling, and they can pick it up in later.
But think about the ratings that baseball brings in.
Yes.
They're going to put wrestling so far back on the back burner, it's going to be on the outhouse burning.
I get that. I'm not a baseball guy. I'm not really much of any other type of sports guy. It's just I saw certain things, and I'm like, I just don't trust it. But these were some good comments from CAWF because I had none of this was in my purview.
Didn't occur to me either, but yes, they're all valid.
Yes, they're valid. I'm like, okay, now it seems like maybe it's the wrong time. Maybe early Saturday, but not primetime Saturday, 6 o'clock. Oh, wait, 6:05.
But we know they have no problem shifting the time this stuff happens. They do it all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they'll keep it up with Collision.
If Collision can keep super high ratings, then the other sports might be preempted then.
They might, but it's going to have to be super high. Like super high.
Yeah, they got to be WWE high. And even then, I don't know about that because WWE averaged 2.3 million.
It's going to be more than that to preempt baseball.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to have to eclipse it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have to, or at least break even and then be like, hey, thanks for the comments, CAWF. And anyone else, hey, you got comments, on anything we say or something like that, go ahead and throw it out there like that. It's all good.
Don't be scared. Like I said, we only bite each other.
I don't bite.
I have been bitten.
Okay, you got bit once. Going on to the next match. This was I ain't gonna lie, maybe I should have gotten past this and then took the break. But pure rules, Daniel Garcia versus Rocky Romero. You know how this is gonna go because it's already gone that way twice.
And so we fast forwarded.
Garcia wins with a half scorpion hold. And I say half because he puts it on so lazily, while Romero was in the ropes. And since he couldn't leave the ropes and Garcia was pulling on his hair to keep him locked in place, Romero was forced to surrender. And at the end, Romero attempts to shake the hand of Garcia, who takes him down and pauses on the attempted scorpion hold while Orange Cassidy walks out. He could have mugged Romero, stripped him naked, molested him in the ring, stomped his face in, picked on the fan, sat down, ate a sandwich, and then watched like an episode of Living Single or something, or Golden Girls, and then gone to the back.
Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Yes.
That's a long one. By the time Orange Cassidy came out there to save Rocky.
And when Orange finally arrives, he stands face to face with Garcia, who they stare at each other. I'm like, kiss or fight. Make a choice.
Still longingly.
And then, Garcia leaves the ring. Clearly, he feared that new shirt orange must be Garcia's weakness. That's what I wrote. And I get it. They're stemming this from Dynamite when all of them was holding the belt in the ring. And they was all like, I want this. And I'll be like, why? But you're not going to beat Orange Cassidy for it. Not now. Yeah. In any case, we get to, now granted, we just did, that was like more than half the show and then we took the break. But part of me was like, I want to get through as much as I can. I took notes on this. So y'all, this is when I take the notes and whatnot. This was the Ring of Honor Women's title. This is a street fight. This is Kiera Hogan versus Athena. Athena being the champion. She's 26-0 as Coleman and Riccaboni was pointing out. that through what is it called? The title eliminator or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Those matches,
Proving
ground matches, and title matches. Athena's gone undefeated. Okay, I know this might sound wrong, but when this whole rivalry started, I said Athena is going to not lose this belt to Hogan because Hogan is a heel. She don't cheat, but all of her mannerisms scream heel. All of it. It don't say, hey, this girl's got attitude or this girl's got personality. It's heel. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to do low blows. I'm not going to, take advantage and shortcuts, but I will trash talk you the whole time. I will demoralize you at every step. I will get in your face and belittle you to the nth degree in front of these people. That's a heel.
But she didn't start it until it was started with her.
She does it with everybody, even faces. That's just her.
But we haven't seen her. Last time we saw her, she was a heel. She went up against Jade. She lost. She was gone. Then she comes back. She was happy. She was smiling. She was wrestling. She was doing good. Face. And then Athena started messing with her.
She was happy. She came to the ring happy. And then get in the ring and start talking her trash. And when she wins, she'll talk that mad trash and be like, period, and all that.
But that's her stick.
You ain't got to be a heel to do it.
I don't think that's her being a heel. I just think that's her stick. Because when she was a heel, it was on 10.
You know what? The listeners, what do you think? Does Kiera Hogan come off as a heel to you or not? I might make that a little question. Just saying. Period. Didn't feel too good now, did it?
To me, it shows you not to be messed with.
I've got things to talk about.
Because faces get messed with all the time. It's like, look, I may be smiling and I may be pretty, but I ain't going to take your crap.
I get it.
Faces take all kinds of crap. You see crap, there's a face in it.
It's just unsettling to think about.
It's true.
It was gross.
Think about all the faces.
It was gross.
It's true.
What are you doing to me here?
You don't want to get shit on. You got to be a little mean.
It takes away the heel being a heel. It kills it.
But think about the heel she was going up against. She's on 10 all the time.
Love it.
Making any little heel work that Kiera was throwing in there to not take anybody's crap, about a 3.
I don't like it.
If you want if it's not gonna be Willow.
Okay, I'm not looking for Willow.
Willow's face on 10.
Willow has a mean personality, I think. It keeps coming out. She's like, yay, I'm happy. She gets to wrestling, and the happy is a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm about to break your nose in front of everybody.
2 or 3 of mean come out. It let you know I ain't to be trifled with.
Yeah. Like, I'm about to smack you in front of your mama. That's what's about to happen.
And
that's how she looked.
I think that's just what it has become. Think about Smiley Kylie Ray.
Yeah. That little heel came out. I enjoyed it. I admit I enjoyed it. The little heel came out. I was like, yeah. Okay. So it's the street fight. They got everything set up around the ring. Keep that in mind, everybody. They also got a stack of chairs laid out as the wrestlers already set it up so that somebody could get slammed, suplexed, thrown, or something onto those chairs. They got them all set up. Why? Because normally the dudes would set this up. No, they know how it is with the women. These are women. They are small. And they will take a long time. So, keeping that in mind, everything is already there outside for them. Keep that in mind as I go through this. I wrote down only the important stuff. So, it ain't long before they spill out, but Athena, she goes out and heaves a ladder from under the ring, and there's already, as I said, ladders outside already. But as Cedra was pointing out, like she's had to heave that up, some weight to that ladder. Okay, Hogan drop kicks the ladder into Athena. All right,
into the boobs. It hurt.
Oh yeah, she gonna feel that. Hogan pulls a falling ladder away from one of the fans. That was nice.
Yeah,
that's a super babyface thing to do.
Check to make sure it's good. And she had the option. She had I can keep whooping on Athena, or I can go over here and get this ladder from the fan that's holding it up from falling on him. I'm gonna go get the ladder.
Yep. And I ain't gonna lie. She might have made a fan out of him for her for life.
Mm-hmm.
So that good things like that. So Athena sets a table up on the railing, just leaning there. So that'll come into play later. Hogan throws a trash can into the ring, and then Athena into the ring. Now they're doing some fighting. They're fighting between all this, but how can I say this? It's like ice skating. They're setting up the big move, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna do the triple salchow. But they've got to do little curtsies and twists and things and little hand rhythms as they build up to it to keep the people entertained. And that's what the beatdowns were. The beatdowns won't the match. It was to go to the next big spot with the furniture.
And they had some good beatdowns.
Yeah, they did.
I approved.
But they were transitions. That's what they were. So she got both of them in the ring. And I think she used the track. No, Athena got up and used the lid of something on Hogan.
Yeah, she hit her in the abdomen with a trash can lid.
So eventually Athena, she uses a kendo stick across Hogan's back. And then throws her head first into an open trash can.
She just slid her in there.
She slid her in there, man.
And she's small, so she went right in.
Yes. She fit in there like a kitten going into a little basket.
Because when it's dudes, it might get hung up around the shoulders or something.
Yep.
No, she slid
her
right
whole
in.
body.
Her whole upper body was in there.
And then she beat the trash can with the kendo stick. Repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
She whooped up on that trash can. Athena tried some move from corner to corner where she did a front flip, but then she caught a trash can to the face. Fell on out. So then Hogan is setting something up. Athena has to hold the trash can up in the corner so Hogan can drop kick it into her face. I don't like that.
There's a better way they could have done that.
They could have had Athena lean down with her face, like the back of her head at the turnbuckle.
They could have wedged the trash can between the ropes.
Kind of gently.
And she could have came from the side and drop kicked the trash can into her head. That would have worked.
Yep. And Athena could duck right before impact. Now, unless the impact wouldn't do anything to her face anyway. So it's all about, you got to know your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it's wrestling magic. But there's like 4 options I can think of. I only named 2. So what next? Okay. Hogan used a spinning fisherman suplex onto the trash can that registered no impact. They hit that trash can, both of them. Trash can didn't even move.
Nope.
That means that the crushed edge just hit them all in the back of the neck.
Yep.
Just that had to hurt.
Just took it.
Hogan takes forever setting up a ladder made to make a scaffolding. Took forever to do that.
But she made sure it was secure. It was completely in place. It wasn't half-assed.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Athena is placed on the ladder, but then moves out the way of Hogan's body press attempt. And Hogan hit it, pow, just damn near bounced off of it. So she was all messed up until she didn't have to be, which is annoying. I don't like seeing that. Athena set a table up alongside the railing. At first, I thought she was going for the railing and the steps. Didn't work out. So she put it against the railing. All right. It's set up on, it's up there. It's up there. You know, it ain't placed, like, it ain't leaning on it.
Nope.
The table is up on all fours.
It's just flush against the railing.
Yep.
Against the, the barricade between them and
the
people.
Yeah. And then Athena,
customers
she
and
has she has to delay as she walk around and holds up a Clark Street sign. The fans saw it, but I don't even know if the fans know what Clark Street. You know, I don't know if they know about it where they are. You know,
what's Clark Street?
So there you go. I'm in North Carolina.
It's something Chicago related, and I just think that they're just too tired to care.
The fans were into the match for the most part. They weren't quiet. Did it seem quiet to you?
At points, but then they would do something and they come up,
and they had to do something a lot. Yawning here. So she holds up the Clark Street sign, and then she stomps on it and happily jogs away, just to hurt Hogan, to stun her a little bit longer than she's already been stunned for the long duration that she's been stunned. I think like 40 some seconds. In wrestling, you don't really have long. Three seconds between moves. You know, this was looking bad at this point. But then in the ring, Hogan took it was outside the ring, but Hogan, Kiera took a chair shot to the ribs and then to the back. Yeah, that was outside of that near the ramp. And then Hogan recovers while being walked around the ring, just walking around the ring. And then she grabs Athena and throw her into a table that was set up at the beginning of the match. Mm-hmm. The one that Hogan had leaning up against the railing. So then Hogan cracks Athena across the back with the kendo stick, follows her outside, and hit her again. Smart move. But then Athena gets a stick from the trash can. They start wearing each other out. Backs, legs, ate hips up. Athena ate Hogan's hip way up. Mm-hmm. She got that hip. And you could see Hogan almost buckle. But Athena got the upper hand, and then Athena, let's see, she's been building up a stack of chairs for the while. I forgot to say, since just after the scaffolding was made, Athena kept going back and forth to those chairs that was already set up, putting up more chairs on top of it. But she's been working on it for a bit now. That's what I wrote. Athena was lying on the table, just lying on the table. They had a little fight, but Athena was put on the table, pulled away from the fans, and Hogan jumped from the apron onto it, didn't break. Yeah, they started getting heckled. They were getting heckled, and then Hogan got to the second rope and dove, breaking it. So, yay! The fans was like, yay! So 10 minutes left in the show, and Hogan gets another table from under the ring, and the crowd's like, yay! Not in a bad way, just in a I'm tired. You can hear them. Yay! We've sat through so many hours. Yay! They sounded like they needed water and about a 40-minute break. Hogan sets up the table in the ring. Athena forearms her, and Hogan just hops up onto the table. It was like forearm, let me jump up there. I'm like, come on. And then Athena is stopped when Hogan gets up to the top rope and tries Frankensteiner to throw Athena, but she blocks it. And she blocks it for a bit. They struggle. She gets her up, and she powerbombs Hogan onto the table for a 2 count. That could have been the end.
It could have.
But then Athena, she does the perfect shocked face. I wish wrestlers would learn to look stunned or bewildered. That's what I wrote. There are other faces that there's so many more faces. So many more. You know. I have to stuff something in your mouth to make you have a different face. So Athena Athena wedges the trash can between the buckles. Then Athena gets a black sack, I guess tax, per usual. And as she pulled them out, I wrote, yep. Coleman says, they're too pretty for this. And Riccaboni says, Adam Cole is pretty too.
I don't understand why he made that reference.
I don't understand.
One, he's not. Okay.
But why?
He's not pretty. Why isn't he pretty? I don't like dudes who look like Jesus. Well,
Athena charges Hogan and rams her head into the trash can that's already wedged into the corner. So that's what you call hoisted by your own petard. Then Hogan she used a cradle backdrop and put Athena into the tax and herself a little bit. That was for a 2 count. But I can say this, there was great camera work of Athena pulling the tax out of her arm and the blood running down it.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
And she was tearing the tax out of the back of her thighs first. I'm sure those hurt.
Yep. And then Hogan uses her long hair to choke Athena, pulling her to the corner and then elevating her in the corner, screaming for her to give up and whatnot. Athena wouldn't. The ref can't do anything because there's no DQ. Then Athena, she breaks it by gouging the eyes and then turns around and rakes them again, then leaves Hogan on the top rope. Hogan is all limp and stuff. Alina chooses this moment to lick her own blood, and Hogan is still seated up as Athena goes to the outside. Mm-hmm. Then Athena uses a short superplex from the Hogan was on the top rope, and she uses the superplex into the chairs that was set up. So finally, those stacks of chairs got used, and it looks, as you pointed out, it looks safe.
It did.
It looked, and it looked kind of brutal. They went crashing down.
Yeah, every single one.
Yep. So they did good at that point for the most part. And then she rolls Hogan into the ring and pins her to retain the belt. And that is it.
So I got comments to make about this match. So I like this match. Yes, the tags were, expected, but the result of the tags was really good, and the camera work on the damage done was even better. Everything they did was safe, and nothing was stupid. They didn't do anything Dante Martin, Ray Phoenix stupid. Anything they set up, they made sure was secure. It's like, hey, it's a street fight. I get it, but I want to live to walk another day.
I'll be honest with you, I've never seen a street fight that involved tables, ladders.
I know, a wrestling street fight, okay? A wrestling street fight. And let's keep this in mind. The Ring of Honor ring, which is the same as the AEW ring, is a very large ring. They had like 8-foot ladders. And I don't know how long them tables are. And each woman, I don't think, is any taller than 5'2". Okay, they're short women, and they probably each weigh 130 pounds or less. These are small women. They're doing their best with this street fight, dealing with these very, very large ladders, large tables, large ring. There's no way it's going to look ideal, but I think for what they had to work with, they did very well, and they kept each other safe, and they kept the venom going. So I was satisfied.
Okay. So look, this is how I would have done a street fight. I would have done it like any other street fight. You come dressed not to wrestle. All right? That's first. You come dressed not to wrestle. You come dressed for a fight. So you put on your jeans. You put on things that you don't scuff up your body and stuff. You put on, your wrestling boots, or basically your tennis shoes would be a whole lot better. All right. You put on the top that covers you up, but underneath where everything that holds the girls down. Tape up your hands. Tape up your wrist. You put an elbow pad on. That's all good. It's all good. Put an elbow pad, put a knee pad on. You know, that's what you do. And you get in that ring and you fight. You punch, elbow, forearm. You're not going to see too many body slams or anything, but you're going to see fighting. And when it spills to the outside, you use the outside. You shove them into the railing, shove them into the apron, throw them into the steps, throw them into the steps again, slam their heads into the steps. You know, that's what you do. Throw them into the ring post, throw them into the ring apron a few times. You know, you don't go reaching under the ring trying to find stuff. You get a chair from the fan and you whack them with it, and then to have security on around the ring, put the chair back to the fan. Argue with security, like, I might need that later. You know, he's like, hey, they need this, yada, yada. And you go on, and that could be a turning point where the person get the upper hand over you, where they turn you around, punch you in the face, yada, yada, yada. You fight around the ring. You get in the ring. You tie them in the ropes if you can. Just start punching them in the face or just blast them in the face. You know, and if you want, you know what? I got liberties. You go out, you can get a chair from under the ring at that juncture. Or if you bought a trash can with goodies, that's when you go out and get the trash can, or one of the goodies, and they're still tied up in the ropes. Hopefully, you get back in and you be like, you hold them, like you point to them like, yeah, dead to rights. And you start wailing away on them. You know, eating them ribs up, eating up that back or something like that. Bite the forearm, you know, bite the bicep or the shoulder or something. Show that you are angry. You just fight. You fight. You show that it's a fight. You beat them down. And once they've been beaten down enough, then you could probably do a few wrestling slams or suplexes or your finisher or whatnot. But then you get on top, ground and pound for a little bit. You know, do something like that. Beat on them. Beat on them. Get gnarly. Get nasty. You ain't got to get creative. It's a fight. And then ultimately somebody's going to gouge an eye, choke, a low blow, something. Somebody's going to do something to get some kind of advantage. And then they do that and get the win. There you go. After their finisher or whatever they want to do. It could be a punch to the mouth and they just fall out loopy. Or just beat down so much that they just can't take no more. And they just lay there and one gets pinned because they just that beaten up. I think that'd be a better way to go.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to do that though, unfortunately. Because everything is a glorified hardcore match.
Yep. Exactly.
But for what it was, I thought it was decent.
I thought it was decent too.
And these two...
But I only give it 3 stars.
I don't even think about stars.
I just thought about it now. Like, top of my head, I was like 3 stars.
Yeah, these 2 black women headlining and main eventing Ring of Honor. I'm good.
Yep. I think that was good. It's not... That's just not often.
Mm-mm.
Normally it's just dudes.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So you got these, 2 African-American women headlining. And see, I didn't want to even really come to that. I'm just glad, like you can see the women showcasing. They're in the main event.
I'm glad they were safe about it.
Yes. That's going to do it for us. This has been Cedric and Cedric for CRWC commentary on Ring of Honor. And we hope y'all stay chill. Keep each other happy. Keep each other safe. And we will see you next time.